posting on a throwaway as I frequently use Reddit and my family might see this. Just to start off, everybody is okay. He was caught and arrested and is currently in jail with a bond his family can't afford. I don't know where to start, but I guess I'll start by I'm traumatized. As a parent, the second worst thing that could happen happened. First being death. I didn't know where he was for 6 minutes, but it feels like it was 30. And I'll feel like I was the last person contacted to know what was going on. I'm angry. I'm angry at my sister's BF. I'm angry at my sister, and I'm angry at myself. I know I shouldn't be, but I am. To make a long story short, my sister was supposed to watch my son a couple nights ago. She said she wouldn't be off work in time, but that he could watch him for 30 minutes an hour before she got off. I thought it would be okay since it wasn't a long period of time. I was so wrong. I got a bad gut feeling when pulled in to drop him off. Ignored it. I chalked it up to being anxiety. And I was just being selfish and wanted a fun night out. I get a call around 45 minutes after dropping him off sister's BF. Just came 2 sisters workplace B asterisk tee her up, crashed her car, and took off with my child and said crashed car I'm sorry, my name. I called back and she told me that they found him but I couldn't see him yet and I was instantly thinking he was dead. That was the worst 6 minutes of my life. Basically, my sister tried to break up with him that morning, but in his eyes she's not allowed to break up with him and that's what started all of this. I guess he was using their dog as a hostage at first, and so my sister got our other sister to get her dog out of that situation. She said she was going to tell me not to drop off my child but that he was acting fine and had calmed down so she didn't. But I really wish she did and I'm mad she didn't. I would have never dropped him off. He pulled up to her workplace, told her if she didn't come out he would harm my child. Speeds off into an alleyway by her work and strangles her. Told her, do you really want to break up with me? I just want you to know if you break up with me. Me and my child are gonna go on a ride. She says no and he calls her a liar and crashes into her Job's sign, totaling her car. Then tells her if she tries to run or scream for help he'll kill my child. Hit her again, more arguing. Starts to speed off to try and kidnap her and she jumps out of the car and runs screaming into her job. Police found my child alone in their apartment with the door locked. He dropped him off and took off on foot. He turned himself in after hiding for about an hour, crying and admitting everything SMH. My child is fine, didn't know what was going on. Thought they were playing, but I am not okay. My sister isn't okay. She's been left with a large financial burden as they lived together and is out of a car, and she is traumatized. I feel so bad for feeling angry with her. I know I wouldn't know what to do in that situation as I've never been in it and she was in fight or flight, but I am angry. Irrational or not, I'm angry she didn't let me know they were having problems. I'm angry she jumped out of the car screaming after he said he'd kill my child. I'm angry I wasn't told immediately. But I also feel bad. I've always been my sister's protector, and I wasn't even worried about her when this was going on. I was only worried about my child. I feel more angry that my child was involved than about what happened to her, and that's terrible. I'd quite feel this way and I'd what to do with it. I'd what to do from here. I want to make a post exposing him. Maybe set up a GOF asterisk and me for her, but I know she doesn't want that. I want to press personal charges. Sue him, but I don't think she wants that either. I just don't know what to do or what to do with my feelings. My family doesn't even want to talk about it. There's so much more I could say, but at the end of the day, I am so thankful that my child is okay. I prayed so hard. I'm thankful my sister is physically okay with only mild bruising. I'm thankful he's in jail, just hoping for a strong sentence. Edit. I feel like there is some confusion. The dog hostage situation happened around 1 or 2 p.m. I think, and I dropped my son off at 7:45 p.m. Not to say it wasn't bad judgment, but there was a good chunk of time in between the instances. However, I do not wish to condemn my sister or press charges on her. That wasn't the point of this post. She was just as surprised by this as I was. She was not covering for her abusive boyfriend. She had a bad lapse in judgment. She immediately ran into her job screaming to call the police and helped get him in jail. I definitely will be more cautious though moving forward. But please refrain from the super harsh comments about my sister. She didn't intend for this to happen. You'll have helped me feel justified in my anger though, and I really appreciate that. And maybe it's because she's my sister and she doesn't have a bad bone in her body. But you are right. Her dog is her baby. She definitely cares more about him than her nephew, and if it was him in the car, I don't think she would have jumped out. But I'll just have to sit with this for a while. Some of OOP's comments. OOP adds, I forgot to mention, but he took a Xanax, I'm assuming right after I left. So he was under the influence as well, doesn't have a license. And also, he was planning to do this the whole time. I think that's the most chilling thing of all. He looked me in my eyes and said, your child has a safe place to stay tonight before I left. And he just seemed so calm and normal. I never expected this to happen. Commenter. What he was arrested for and what he will be charged with can be vastly different. Contact the prosecutor for this jurisdiction and talk to them about your kidnapping scenario. As you voluntarily left your son with him, it's a stretch. Child endangerment fits, though, and you certainly have grounds for a civil suit. Basing this on the assumption you are in the U.S. Oop. Yes, I am in the U.S., and on mobile patrol it states charges 5. Aggravated assault, domestic assault, leaving scene accident. W. Property damage, child abuse, neglect under 6. Criminal impersonation. What happens if you are subpoenaed to court but the court date is rescheduled and they don't subpoena you again? My sister was subpoenaed as she is the victim in a domestic violence case where my child was also involved and endangered. They told her she doesn't have to show up since they didn't re-subpoena her, but what happens if she doesn't? Will they drop the case? Will they move forward? Should she be there? I don't really know how this stuff works. For reference, it's a hearing it got rescheduled to tomorrow last minute, and we are in the state of TN. It's been a weirdo. Update post December 12, 2024, 7 months later. His mom ended up sending me a very hateful and abuse-enabling, victim-blaming ass message on October 8th. He died November 22nd, either an overdose or suicide or both, not completely sure. Not much of an update. Don't really know how to feel. I'm glad he can't hurt anybody else, but sad he didn't get a just full sentence and got the easy way out. I don't know. It's been a weird month. Edit. I realized I left some things out. He ended up posting bail after. I guess his family did indeed have money. About 2 weeks after all of this happened, my sister left work and found him asleep in her car. She got a coworker to take her home, and the next morning he showed up at her home and she called the police. He was arrested without bail this time. He ended up getting a nice lawyer, and the rest is history. Me and my sister have not been on speaking terms since June, besides occasionally on Sundays when we meet with the family we'd exchange a few words. After his death, we have since unblocked each other and have been in low contact. Hopefully we can move forward and work on our relationship.